Morning, Judge. How are you?
Doing well.
Attorney Manuel Sarhovich on behalf of the Rosen Law Firm. Judge, my client is Janelle DeLica. She's on the first page of Your Honor's docket. She's on page 2, I believe. Or excuse me, number 2 on the docket.
Okay.
DeLica.
One. She's the first. Second person.
Okay. Janelle DeLica?
Yes, Judge. And the victim's here as well.
Okay.
Husband.
Okay. Where is Miss DeLica?
I'm right here, sir. Good morning.
Pardon?
Good morning, I'm here.
Thank you. Good morning. Okay. Ms. DeLica, you are charged with domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. You have counsel here?
Yes, Judge. So Ms. DeLica, she's a doctor. She's lived in the community for 30 years. Her homestead's down here. Her husband is here. They've been married together for 12 years. They have children together. She has never been arrested before. We would be asking for a nominal $1,000 bond as a condition of her release, and that there'd be no contact order, that there'd be allowed to be contact between the family members. Her husband is here. I don't know if Your Honor would like to take testimony from him.
Very briefly, yes.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Come on up.
Thank you, Judge.
Sir, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Could you state your name, please? Okay, Mr. DeLica, you had something that you wanted to say to the court?
Yeah, it was just a misunderstanding that occurred yesterday with my wife, and then it just turned into an unfortunate situation, so we'll just try to get things cleared up.
Okay, fair enough. Are you in any way, shape, or form afraid of further violence with your wife? Okay, you are not. Have you had issues like this in the past as far as violence? All right. And you wish the court not to enter a no contact order. You wish to have contact with your wife? Okay, state.
Your Honor, I'm fine with the $1,000 bond. I would be asking that there be a no contact order, at least for the time being, just to make sure things cool down and there's not any repeat of the allegations that occurred yesterday.
All right. Given the nature of the offense, that she doesn't have any prior history.
No, Judge.
Okay. Given the nature of the offense, the fact that the alleged victim is here and has testified that he is not concerned about future violence, and the fact that even in the probable cause affidavit it indicates that it was, while it does rise to the level of a battery, in the overall scheme of things, it's not the worst battery I've ever seen. I'm going to respect the wishes of the victim and not enter a no contact order, and I will order a $1,000 bond.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor?
$1,000 bond.
Yes, thank you.
Your Honor, before we go to the next case, if we would the court mind checking with Paul Ryan to see if they have a defendant there? He might either be there or in his felony courtroom, so we just want to know.
Okay.
His name's Orlando Rivera.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem. Good morning.
Good morning.
Doesn't look
Is there an Orlando Rivera at Paul Ryan?
Am I done?
You're done, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Is there an Orlando Rivera at Paul Ryan?
Deputy at Paul Ryan?
Anyone? Bueller?
He's talking. I can see he's talking.
What are you up to? Somebody's got to wake up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Patrice.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sorry about
That's okay. Do you have an Orlando Rivera there?
that. Actually, sir, he's in court.
He's in court.
Downtown.
Perfect.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right.
No problem. Take care. All right. Cassandra Franklin? Oh, I'm sorry. Give me
Judge, I
one.
have one little qualifying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Judge, it's Lucian Anthony Brown, Denzel Latty on behalf of Mr. Brown. I heard he was removed from the docket, so.
I have him here.
Oh,
Judge
okay.
Lucian Brown was removed off the docket as an out-of-state hold,
Yeah, I have that.
and we need confirmation from the state. There's some discrepancies, so we pulled them, and we hope to have an answer by PM.
Okay, so let's reset him for the PM docket.
Reset them, or we're working on it.
Okay. What time in the afternoon, Judge?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, is it? Yeah. So 1 o'clock.
I'll be here, Judge. Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you very much. All right. Anybody, sir? You want that? No problem, I was just setting aside. Good morning, how you doing?
Your Honor, I'm here on the first appearance for Lori Andre, but can we?
Hold on 1 second, let me turn this down just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you have Lori Andre?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what are you asking?
If you could recall it later, her family's on their way from West Palm Beach.
Okay, sure, if I come across it, I'll put it at the end of my docket.
Thank you, Judge.
No problem. Okay, Cassandra Franklin? Anyone?
Judge, Cassandra Franklin's here, present at Maine.
Okay. Here we go. Ms. Franklin, you were charged with domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. State?
1 moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $2,500 bond in order of no victim contact. In 2015, Ms. Franklin was arrested for a domestic violence battery against a different alleged victim that was dropped. In 2006, she had a battery and criminal mischief. There was a charge of aggravated assault that was dropped. End of record.
Judge, if I may be heard.
Yes.
And speaking of Ms. Franklin, she's 32 years old, been living in our community her whole entire life. Right now, she did manage to get a job. She's employed. She just got a job 4 weeks ago at Burger King, making approximately $8.25. Besides that, she also pays child support in an amount of about $200 per month. The alleged boyfriend, I did advise her that most likely the court's going to order in no contact. She has no problem adhering to the court's order as far as no contact. She plans on residing with a friend who lives in Fort Lauderdale, separate and apart from the alleged victim. Basically, there's really nobody that can post her monetary bond. My understanding, she gave me, I know, Your Honor, what I'm going to ask as far as sometimes the court orders indirect contact. The only person that she's kind of friendly with is the mother of her boyfriend. Her name is Therese, and she asked me if I could contact her and maybe she would be willing to post a monetary bond. My understanding, Judge, is she has limited income, so I'd be asking you to consider a $1,000 bond. My understanding is on the priors, everything was dropped, so I think that's, under the circumstances, reasonable, Judge.
Right. I also note in the probable cause affidavit that in this particular case, the victim was uncooperative with getting pictures of his injuries and not wanting to push forward with or press the charges. I will.
Judge, I didn't have an opportunity to review the PC affidavit. I didn't know that the victim was uncooperative, and most likely then, as we all know, maybe case filing will elect not to proceed on this case. Having said that, Judge, then would you consider releasing Miss Franklin on pretrial release?
Not considering her prior history and the allegations here, I will honor the $1,000 bond, but I'm going to also issue a no contact order on that.
Judge, and as far as my request also, she's going to be contacting the boyfriends, or I'm going to be contacting, so that's indirect contact. I'd ask you for purposes of that to allow that sort of contact.
You are going to be contacting, it's you, not her.
Correct.
That's fine.
Okay,
That's
thank you, Judge.
Laura Ferreira Baez?
Judge, one quick matter.
Yes.
Ms. Franklin just whispered to me, she needs to obtain her property that's at the residence, specifically her purse, which has her identification, wallet, things of that nature. Can she go through it with law enforcement company to retrieve her property?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Miss Ferreira Baez?
I'm sorry, Judge, she is here.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, you were charged with domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. State priors?
She has no priors, Your Honor. However, based on the level of violence and the injuries suffered by the alleged victim, I'm gonna be requesting a $2,500 bond, no victim contact.
Judge, I'm going to be requesting that you consider releasing Ms. Ferreira Baez on pretrial release. She has no prior contact. She's 27 years old. She is working at a place called Strike 10 Bowling Alley. She's been working there since January. She's going to have to contact a friend. She believes she's going to contact a friend who lives in Plantation to have no sort of contact with the alleged victim. So, Judge, because of this is a misdemeanor offense, no prior contact, I'd be asking you for a pretrial release.
Pretrial?
I'll take whoever court orders.
Okay. All right. Reading a risk assessment from pretrial. I will ROR her to pretrial release. There will be no victim contact.
Thank you, Judge.
Standard pretrial.
And she,
Exactly. No guns, weapons, firearms. Brandon Hall.
Mr. Brandon Hall is here present, Judge Amain.
Yeah, Mr. Hall, you're charged with domestic violence battery. State, I was looking at this, it looks like it's, he's a co-defendant with his brother, Christian Hall.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I think that there was some issue as to whether this was mutual combat.
Well, Your Honor, at a minimum, then I would ask the court to find probable cause for disorderly conduct. Which still, Your Honor, the law still prohibits brawling, fighting.
All right. Well, I don't find probable cause for a battery in this situation. Even in the probable cause affidavit, they couldn't determine who the aggressor was. Any prior history?
No, Judge.
No prior arrest, no nothing?
No.
Vince?
I'd ask you to ROR on the judge.
Yeah. I will find probable cause to disorderly conduct, and I will ROR Mr. Hall. No contact with his brother, Christian Hall, at this point. They can't seem to keep their hands off each other. Christian Hall?
Is en route from North Broward, Judge,
Okay.
to the downtown jail.
Okay.
Judge, who did you call?
I called Christian Hall, but he's apparently en route.
Judge, yeah, he was supposed to be in North Broward. I don't know why North Broward's sending Mr. Hall here to Maine when.
I don't know either. I'm gonna magistrate him if there's no.
No, that's fine. When he comes, we'll magistrate him. But I know people have reached out to North Broward advising them of this, and it just keeps on happening, Judge.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened either, but
I don't know.
all right. I mean, it's the same.
We'll let you know when he arrives. Then.
That's fine. I'll put him aside. Okay. Brian Jones.
Mr. Jones is approaching, Judge.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're charged with domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. State any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to be requesting a $7,500 bond, no victim contact, and pretrial release with a GPS monitor. Your Honor, he had put out last year a violation of a domestic violence injunction or pretrial release conditions, and that was a no contact order against the same alleged victim. That stemmed from a battery arrest last year against the same alleged victim that was dropped. He was also arrested in 2012 for a battery, domestic violence battery against the same alleged victim, and that was dropped.
Defense?
I do understand as far as the injunction. However, in the two prior criminal offenses, both of them were dropped. Having said that, he's been here his whole life. He's 27 years old. He works, he's self-employed doing mobile car wash. He's been doing that for about 2 years. On a good day, depending on the weather, he can make up to about $100 a day doing that. He's going to be living separate and apart from the alleged victim. He's going to be residing with his sister who lives in Miramar. That's who he's gonna be contacting to help post his bond. She's a school bus driver. He believes going through a bondsman, maybe she can come up with $250, and that's what we're gonna be requesting, Judge, $2,500 on Mr. Jones' behalf.
All right, in reviewing the probable cause affidavit and the prior history, I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $5,000 with no victim contact.
Yes, Judge, and would you just sign a photo order so we can photograph Mr. Jones' injuries that he sustained?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Judge.
Margaret Fazio?
Medical reset.
Joanne Brown?
Medical reset also.
You're talking to other people over there.
Yamila Cordovi?
North Broward.
Can you let me speak, please, before you go ahead with the verdict, sir?
Ma'am, I really don't recommend that you talk. Everything you say is being recorded right now. And
I was brought here by no reason at all. I was just drinking my coffee. I wasn't trespassing, nothing. And this cop from the Highlander Police Department, he cops and handcuffed me by force.
okay.
That's just not right.
Well,
I'm a single lady. I don't mess with nobody. And honestly, that man, he done it for 2 times, and I don't know what's his person's problems at all.
well, I'll explain to you what it is, ma'am. You have a warrant for your arrest, so there is a reason that they handcuffed
So who
you.
put that? Josh Lerner Grant put that, right?
Well, apparently you know
Yes,
what.
sir.
No, ma'am. It's somebody else. But apparently, you've had some contact with the system because you know some of the judges. At any rate, it was not the Honorable Judge Lerner Wren. It was a judge from the South County Courthouse, and you have a capias for a trespass to a structure or a conveyance at an amount of $250.
She also has 3 other charges, Judge. There are 2 municipal ordinances and a petty theft misdemeanor.
I don't have
That's
that.
not
I
true.
know. Yeah, actually, it kind of is.
Are you sure, Mr. Reedy?
Yeah, that's what it
She's saying
shows.
it's not true.
That's what it shows.
All right.
I don't know if Ms. Cordovi would be a good candidate maybe to send back to Judge Lerner Wren.
She's there.
Okay.
Honestly, I want to resolve. I didn't mean to
Then
interrupt
I just
you
asked for
guys.
this charge to be sent there as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably appropriate in this situation.
Yes.
And we'll transfer
I
this
wanna
case to Judge
resolve
Lerner
this.
Wren.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
I want to resolve this so I can get out of here today. Can you please let me know, but like that I'm right now, what is gonna happen? Can I just pay the $250 so I can get out of here today?
Well, the bond is $250, and
Okay.
you are entitled to post that bond if you like. But I'm going to transfer the case ultimately to Judge Lerner Wren because apparently you have something else going on in there. And if not,
I have, but I don't. Go ahead.
that's okay. If you post a $250 bond, you'll.
So if I pay that, I'll be able to get out of here
If-
today. I don't want to
if there-
interrupt you.
If that's okay. If there's nothing else holding you, then that $250 bond will secure your release on this charge.
She does have a $250 bond on the other 3 charges as well. Her total bond, as I see it, is $1,000.
Okay. So it appears that you have a total bond of $1,000.
But even if that's a lie, so if I just pay that, I'll get out of here today. Then let me get out of here today.
That appears to be the
Because
case.
I'm trying to go on with my life.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Okay.
Right. So all those 2, these 2 need to like leave me alone, please.
Okay.
Because I still don't even have a business out there. How I wanted to do a while ago.
Fair enough, ma'am. I wish you the best of luck. Brittany Chisholm.
Hello.
Okay. Ms. Chisholm, you are charged in count 4 with robbery with a weapon and a probation violation. I do find probable cause as to both of them. On the probation violation, you're being held no bond. State, you want to be heard on the robbery?
Yes, Your Honor. She's counts 1 charges. The first 2 charges she's being held on are for grand theft and 2 counts of grand theft. Based on the level of violence alleged in this case, I'm requesting a $25,000 bond.
Ben?
Well, she has a no bond hold. I think that's a little excessive, quite frankly, but she's gonna have to go in front of her division judge on the 18th to resolve the probation matter in any event, so.
All right, I'm setting bond in the amount of $15,000 on count one. Good luck to you, ma'am. It looks like you do have a violation of probation hearing set for the 18th, which I believe is Monday at 8:30 a.m. Good luck to you, ma'am. Raquel Davis? Okay,
Judge Davis is approaching.
no problem. Good morning, Ms. Davis. You were charged in a warrant for one count of criminal mischief over $1,000. Based on the warrant, I do find probable cause. Ma'am, you're here for Ms. Davis?
Yes, I'm her mom,
Okay, what's your name, ma'am?
Vermelin Mays.
Okay, ma'am, what did you want to say to the court?
I just want, I still am not clear as to what's going on. As far as I know, this is something that occurred a little more than a year or about a year ago.
Okay.
I don't know of Raquel damaging a property, so I wanna, know like where's the evidence or stuff like that to why she's arrested.
I'm reading the arrest warrant right now. It appeared that there was a all right, apparently there was some altercation on August 20th of 2017 where it's alleged that your daughter pepper sprayed an Erica Areola and a crowd of people, including children, and then proceeded to kick some vehicles and causing damage in the amount of $2,345.78. So that's the criminal mischief, ma'am, and that's what she's charged with. It's criminal mischief over $1,000. State, any recommendation?
Your Honor, I don't see any history. That being said, based on the amount of damage that was allegedly done and the allegations of her using pepper spray and a crowd of people, including the alleged victim, prior to that, I'm requesting a $1,000 bond and no victim contact.
Defense, anything?
Judge, and speaking Ms. Davis, she's going to be relying on her mother to help post her bond, and so at this time I'd be asking, she's here present, if that's going to be a problem with her being able to come up with $1,000 to post her monetary bond.
No.
Okay. All right, I'll set bond in the amount of $1,000, no victim contact.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. Chantel McLeod?
Ms. McLeod, come on up, please. She's approaching, Judge.
Morning, Ms. McLeod. You are charged with 8 counts. The first is grand theft auto. The second is possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving while license suspended or revoked, and then counts 5, 6, 7, and 8 are warrants on misdemeanors. It looks like there were 2 separate cases, or 3 separate cases that there were warrants on. Based on the warrants and the probable cause affidavit, I do find probable causes to all the counts. On count 1, your bond is $1,000. Count 2, it's $1,000. Count 3, it's $100. Count 4, it's $25. Counts 5, 6, 7, and 8, the warrants carry a $250 bond. So that is a total of $3,125.
May I be heard as to count 2, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
The possession of cocaine charge is actually, as I read it, a paraphernalia charge. And the policy in the state attorney's office at this point in time is to charge residue or paraphernalia cases just as drug paraphernalia cases. It's not to say you can't find probable cause, but I think it's something you should be taking into account when setting bond on count 2. I'd ask you to reduce that bond from 1,000 to 100.
State prior history?
today it's Miss McLeod, but she is out on, she's out right now on a pending, she's out on bond on a pending grand theft auto, I believe, Chantel Lindsay.
This violated this would have violated the conditions of her pretrial release?
Yeah, she posted bond July of last year.
And
Judge,
that's,
if I could be heard.
sure.
Judge, and speaking to Ms. McLeod, right now she's not working. What she does is she lives with her parents. Her mom is disabled. Her father does work. He's a pastor at a local church. She's also a single mother. She's raising a child who's 7 years old. Right now, that's her job, raising her child and basically taking care of her mom. The person that helped post her monetary bond was her father. But right now, from what she advised me, really he doesn't have any sort of financial resources to post the accounts that currently exist on counts 1 through 8. Now, I do realize, Judge, that your hands are kind of tied on counts 5 through 8. There are bonds that have been set by another judge. But in counts 1 through 4, Judge, you certainly have the ability to modify it. I'd ask you to, for mitigation purposes, to take into account what my colleague stated as far as the residue case. Judge, I do realize that she's out on bond. Maybe at this time, your other option is to modify that and potentially have her supervised by pretrial release, so that basically she can, you can order random drug testing. She could be supervised, reported at least 1 time a month, or call in twice a week. Therefore, she'll have the ability to fight this case from the outside and be supervised by pretrial release, Judge.
Here's the problem. I take Mr. Reedy's recommendation seriously, and I have no problem, given the situation, reducing the bond on count 2. But it's kind of a moot point. She's out on bond on a grand theft auto. She commits another grand theft auto. She has 4 warrants for 3 separate cases. She's not a very good risk to stay out of trouble and appear in court. So while I will reduce her bond to an ROR on count 2, it's a moot point at this point, because I'm going to revoke her bond on the previous grand theft auto, finding that she has violated the conditions of her pretrial release. So on this case, her bond will be $2,125 in total, and she's going to be held no bond on the previous grand theft auto. And it looks like she has a status set for 6/20 at 1:30 p.m. in front of her division judge. So good luck to you, ma'am. On count 2, I'm RORing her.
And Your Honor, just for the record, the case number in that matter is 17-7480 CF10A.
Okay, so if you can provide me with an order on that.
Yes, I will. Your Honor.
Thank you.
17-7480 CF10A.
Good luck to you, ma'am. Monet Garcia.
She's approaching, Judge.
Morning, ma'am. You're charged with 3 counts. The first is grand theft auto. Second is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Third count is driving while license suspended. I do find probable causes to all 3. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Counts 2 and 3, 0 bond. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Judge, we're going to be asking for pretrial release. I asked her if she could come up with $1,000 or anyone that she can contact. She advised me right now, her aunt, she doesn't think that she can come up with that. That's who she lives with in Coral Springs. Her aunt works at an ice cream shop. So right now, they spent everything on the bills. She's 28 years old. She's working. She works at Tropical Cafe. She just started making minimum wage, I believe, about $8.25 an hour. Besides that, she is enrolled in Broward College studying business management. She pays for that through financial aid. Judge, I'd ask you to consider, considering this is a non-violent offense, I'd ask you to consider releasing her on pretrial release.
Your Honor, her prior is 2011 failure to redeliver a vehicle. She was sentenced to 364 days county jail. 2011, a grand theft auto with a VOP, 364 days. 09, dealing in stolen property with a VOP, 364 days. She also had 2 other prior arrests that ended up being dropped. Those were both for grand theft auto.
I believe they were over 6 years ago, Judge.
Any failure to appear?
One moment, Judge. I see there was one prior arrest on a violation of pretrial warrant. And that was on a grand theft auto case.
She has no crimes of violence in her past?
No, I don't see any crimes of violence.
I'm gonna ROR to pretrial.
Thank you, Judge. There's the map. Make sure you report there as soon as you get released today. If not, you have to be there before 12 noon tomorrow.
Okay. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Kalisha Kelly?
Medical reset.
Thank you. Abby Westby?
She's here present, Judge, I mean.
Okay. Ms. Wesby, you are charged with retail theft, $300 or more, and coordinating with others. I do find probable cause. And your bond is $1,000. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Judge, Ms. Wesby has asked me if I can ask the court if you would consider releasing our pretrial. I'll see if the state has an objection to that request.
Eric? That's okay. Throw them at me, gets my attention. You know what, sir, I'm not inclined to ROR to pretrial. I have a risk assessment here, and she's kind of a high risk, so.
Yes, Judge, then.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna pass Lori Andre. I think her relatives are on their way, so I don't know. Have they gotten here yet? Is there anybody here for Lori Andre? Okay. There was counsel here earlier, and he asked me to reset this, so I'm gonna do that. Brittany Jones?
Judge,
I'm gonna recall it, I'm sorry. Pardon? Okay. One second. Good morning, ma'am. All right. Ms. Jones, you are charged with 8 counts. The first is a racketeering violation, and counts 2 through 6 are falsifying an official document, public servant. 7 and 8 is a similar charge, modifying without authority computer supporting documentation. I do find probable causes to all 8.
Judge, there actually are 16 counts.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me just see what I got here. In my haste, I probably looked through all of them. Oh, I see. Okay, they're all sort of related. All right. Yeah, 9, 10, 11 is also modifying without authority, and then 12 through 16 is unlawful issuing of a DL. There is probable cause, having read the probable cause affidavit and the.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Morning. Lawrence Hashish on behalf of Mrs. Andre. If we can put it on recall to wait for Martin Roth.
Yeah, no, I put Miss Andre on recall. This is Miss
Is this the
Jones.
final case?
This is Brittany Jones.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. Sorry about that. Oh.
Yeah, no, I already put Miss Andre on recall.
Okay. I was told that it was Miss Andre.
That's okay.
Still not gonna have the affidavit.
Okay. State on Miss Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. The state was requesting a $25,000 bond on count 1, a $3,000 bond on each count for counts 2 through 6, and a $1,000 bond on each count for counts 7 through 16, Your Honor.
Okay, prior history?
There is no prior criminal history, Judge.
Okay, and I mean, with all due respect, I know that this looks like it was a pretty in-depth investigation, but is there any idea that she might be a flight risk or not return to court?
I don't know her history in the area, Judge. If she has family in the area, I'm not familiar with her personal history. If she is a flight risk, she might be. I'm just not familiar.
Okay, all right. Defense?
Judge, in speaking with Ms. Jones, she's been here her whole entire life. She's 29 years old. As you can see, she's been in our community for 29 years, and this is her first arrest ever. She is a registered voter here in Broward County. She does have family living in our community, as evidence. They're here present here in court. My understanding, Judge, she did work for Department of Motor Vehicles for 4 years. I believe her yearly wage was around like $30,000. So if my math was correct in summing up what the state suggested, they're suggesting $50,000. That's almost twice what she made. So she would have to literally work for 2 years in order to post her monetary bond.
And that would be
That's
pre-tax
something that
dollars.
She's not going to be able to come up with. She's right now unemployed. She's living in Fort Lauderdale with her. She's a single mother. She's raising 2 children with the help of her mom. She's going to be relying on her family and friends to help post her monetary bond. But I just do not think that they're going to be able to come up with $50,000, even going through a bondsman, Judge. So we'd be asking you to consider her basically lack of history and her financial resource in determining reasonable release condition and a reasonable monetary bond, Judge.
You're here for Miss Jones? Yes, okay. Your Honor. Okay. What's your name, ma'am? And what's your relationship to Miss Jones? Okay. And what did you want to tell me?
She's not a flight risk. She is raising 2 small girls, and she has her family for support.
Okay. All right. Well, clearly she has a lot of people here supporting her. And with regard to a bond, with regard to a bond, ma'am, what do you think that Miss Jones would be able to post as in the form of a bond? Okay. I'm looking. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I was looking at a risk assessment for Miss Jones. Oh yeah, I was. All right. All right. I was looking at a pretrial risk assessment for Ms. Jones. It appears that she has a low risk of not returning to court. And given her lack of prior history, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $5,000 on count 1. Count 2 will be a $1,000 bond, and the remaining bonds will be ROR'd, and it will be pretrial release, standard pretrial. Okay, so it'll be a total of $6,000 with pretrial release.
Thank you so much.
Michelle Anthony?
North.
North Broward, I believe, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Miss Anthony. You're charged with 1 count of grand theft. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $1,000. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Judge, I've been in touch with her family. I've been trying to reach her father this morning. I've left a couple of messages. He has not yet called me back. I'd like to ascertain from him if Miss Anthony can reside with him, and if so, I was going to ask the court to consider pretrial release.
He said he would let me come home.
Any priors?
There's priors out of Pennsylvania, Your Honor. My concern is it shows, where does her father live? Because it shows in that large address. In the database, there's no kind of, she has no type of Florida ID. There's nothing documenting her anywhere, ever, how long she's resided in Florida.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to leave the bond where it's at, and
He's on Pompano Beach. I'm sorry.
If that situation changes, I'm sure she can make a motion in front of the division judge, but at this point, it's just going to be $1,000.
Very good, Judge.
Hera Scallon?
Medical reset.
Robin McCrae?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Good morning, Ms. McCray. You're charged with one count of possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $1,000. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm always being bothered. Well, I don't was in ground. I'm so crazy. That's it for me.
Anaya Miranda Phillips.
Bonded, Judge.
Okay. For the record, I do find probable cause on Miss Miranda Phillips, but she is bonded. Hung Tran.
Mr. Tran is
Judge.
going to require a Vietnamese interpreter.
Yes, Judge, we've been in touch with the interpreter's
Okay.
office. They're looking for one as we speak. We could recall him, please.
Okay. We'll put that on recall. What do you have?
Well, Hung Tran was the first one, Judge. The next one is on page 15.
Okay.
There's a William Simon, and he's in the main jail as well.
Okay, let me just see if I can.
Page 15.
He's here, Judge Amin.
Give me 1 second. Pardon? Where we are? Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you. All right. Good morning, Mr. Simon. You are charged with a warrant for solicitation or display on public right-of-way. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $25. Counsel?
Judge, it's essentially a panhandling offense. I spoke to Mr. Simon this morning in custody. He would like to resolve this case. He indicated to me that he wants to move back to Port St. Lucie and get some assistance for his drug habit.
All right, Mr. Simon, if you want to resolve your case today, you're represented by counsel right now, but if you want to resolve your case today, I'd offer you an adjudication on, well, does he have prior history?
Yes, Judge, I've represented him in the past on similar
Okay.
charges.
All right, I would offer you an adjudication credit for time served, if that's something you want to take.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, can you raise your right hand? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Can you state your name, spell your last name for the record, please?
William Robert Allen Simon, last name spelled S-I-M-O-N.
Okay, Mr. Simon, you're charged with solicitation and display on a public right-of-way. How do you wish to plead, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I'll accept your no contest plea, and I will adjudicate you guilty and give you credit for time you've already served. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Is that all you had right now? Except for the other one? Okay. All right. Tyler Orenbuck.
Orange Buck. Silence. Come on, sir.
He's approaching, Judge.
All right, no problem. Good morning, sir. You are charged with 3 counts, separate warrants, two separate warrants. One is for reckless driving, one is for failure to register a vehicle, and the third is for possession of cannabis. I do find probable causes to all 3 counts. Your bond on count 1 is $750, count 2 is $250, count 3 is $500 for a total of $1,500. It looks like you have a status already set for the 15th, which is Friday at 9 a.m. in front of the division judge. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, it's being Mr. Armbach. He wishes to ask the court if you would consider resolving his cases today for time served.
No, unfortunately, I don't know all the details of the reckless driving. I mean, the other 2 counts don't really concern me that much, but.
Your Honor, I can advise you, in addition to other conditions the states offer, when it gets in front of Judge Evans, is going to involve probation, so I think it would be best left.
Yeah, I think it's best that he go in front of Judge Evans and Judge Evans.
No problem, Judge. Thank you very
or he
much.
can bond out, one of the 2. And eventually go in front of Judge Evans. Wayne Golden.
He's approaching, Judge.
All right, Mr. Golden, you're charged with 1 count of trespassing Occupied structure, I do find probable cause. Your bond is $100. Mr. Golden have priors?
Judge, he's gonna be asking the court if you would consider resolving this.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I just was asking the state if you have priors.
I don't know, but I'll see. He was arrested about 2 weeks ago. Trespass at the same place.
All right, Mr. Golden. I know that Walmart, it's not worth getting arrested over. If you want to resolve your case today, I would adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time served, but there'd be no return to that Walmart.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
There's a Target down the street, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, sir, raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you put your hand down? Can you state your name, spell your last name for the record, please?
State your last name and say your name for the record. Golden, Wayne.
Okay. All right, sir, if you want to resolve your case today, I'd adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time served. Is that something you want to take?
Yes, sir.
All right, how do you wish to plead, guilty or no contest?
How do you wish to plead, guilty or no contest? No contest.
All right, sir, I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time served. No return to that Walmart, okay?
Yes, yes, sir.
They're just going to arrest you again, and the next time you might not get time served. So, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Rodney English?
He's here present, Judge, and me.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with one count warrant for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $500.
Judge, it's from 2004.
I see that.
2004 kid, wow. How old were you in 2004? 19 years old? Wow.
Okay. State?
Judge, he was just released from Florida State Prison, as of today. So he just.
All right. Yeah. He was habitualized in 2016. But if he wants to resolve this case today, I'd adjudicate him, give him credit for time served.
Let me talk to him, Judge.
Sure. You want me to put it on recall?
No, I'm going to talk to him.
Okay. State any objection?
Judge, he wishes to resolve his case and accept the court's offer.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand? You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. What's your name, sir?
Rodney Jermaine English.
All right, Mr. English, I indicated to you that if you want to resolve this case today, it's a 2004 case. I'd adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time served. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to plead, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time served, waiving court costs.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck to you, sir. John Brown?
John Brown.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with trespass, failing to leave property upon order by owner. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $25. State priors.
He was arrested a little less than a month ago for trespass, open container, disorderly on Andrews.
Yep.
Posted a $25 bond. I don't know if it's still open or not.
All right. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Ms. Reedy, you were saying something? Hector, did you say
I
something?
didn't hear you.
If he wants to resolve his case today, I'm sorry.
He was.
Hold on for 1 second, Hector. Can you close your mic for a second?
I think this is the same, John Brown, if the state could correct me, is this case number 184590 in the MO case?
I don't know.
Because Judge, if it is, Your Honor, and if he's homeless, it would just make sense to try to resolve all his cases today rather than to have him go out and there's gonna be a KPS issued when he misses.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I have the case number, Judge, but I know with the clerk's office, I can go and speak with Tamu and see if she could send the paperwork up for the afternoon, or unless we could resolve it here today, this time. Ms. Davenport, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense to have it all taken care of at the same time, rather than having him out there with, these types of cases and.
It looks,
It's, this one's, you know what this one is, go ahead.
I'm sorry, so the case number is 184590 MO10A, and the charges in that case are trespass, open container, and disorderly conduct.
So what I'll do is I'll put Mr. Brown on a brief recall or whenever the paperwork will
I've
come
got
back.
I've got another case number that's very similar to that one.
Okay.
It looks like a pending trespass. But it-
Yeah, why don't we reset them to 1 o'clock? And are you gonna be here at 1 o'clock? You will now, right?
He might be here for.
I hear you.
He might have to
Well,
be
let me
here.
ask you this. I mean, I know that you got.
I might be here for the
Vietnamese interpreter. Right.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's, yeah, why don't, yeah, let's reset.
I'll go there now.
Jara, do you want the other case number?
All right, thanks. So we'll reset this to 1 o'clock? Okay.
Reset to 1 o'clock? Okay, I'll let
Yeah.
the deputies know, Judge.
Correct. Just easier for everybody that way. Okay. No problem. Okay. I'm open to suggestions. Okay. Craig Fonner?
Medical reset, Judge.
Okay. Jeremiah Hunt? Good morning, sir.
He's here, President Judge, I'm in.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with petty theft. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $100. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, and speaking with Sir Hunt, he seems to advise me that he kind of has a clean record. If the state can verify that, Judge, would you consider an ROR on Mr. Hunt's behalf?
State.
I'm checking that right now. He's got a prior drug offense last year out of the state of California. He's placed on probation. Actually, it looks like he's on probation out of California. He's placed on 36 months probation last year.
So the answer would be no. Your bond's $100.
$100.
William Hennigan? Good morning, sir. You're charged with one warrant and for trespass. Based on the warrant, I do find probable cause.
Judge, Mr. Hennigan has advised me he was here last week and he believes he resolved this case.
Okay. We'll have Mr. Donnelly look that up. He's got nothing better to do.
I saw it anyway, so I'm not sure.
All right.
We
Give me
gotta
1
see
second.
if
We're
he
gonna.
resolved it, he resolved it. They're looking it up.
Yeah, we're looking it up right now. Okay, thank you.
Does not appear that this case was resolved. I'm just checking. I have a suspicion, but.
We're going to see, it may have been another case that was resolved.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been other cases that were resolved, but this Odyssey does not show that this one was resolved.
All right.
Judge, I'd ask you then to consider resolving this case as well.
Yeah, I was going to do that. Mr. Hennigan, if you want to resolve your case, given the nature of the charge, I'd adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time served. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Correct.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
What's your name?
William Joseph Hennigan.
All right, Mr. Hennigan, I indicated to you, you can put your hand down. I indicated to you that if you want to resolve your case today, I'd adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time you've already served. Is that something you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you wish to plead, guilty or no contest?
That is fine, sir, yes.
Well, we got to pick one.
Guilty or no contest?
Guilty.
All right,
No
sir.
contest.
Okay, pick one. Which one is it? Final answer.
No contest.
Okay, I accept your no contest plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, give you credit for time you've already served. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Quiddick DeRose.
Conti, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. DeRose, you are charged with this is count 14, but it's grand theft. I do find probable cause. Your bond is $1,000 on that. Good luck to you, sir. Jarrell Haynes.
Conti again, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Stand up, yeah, sorry.
Mr. Haynes, you are charged with 4 counts here, counts 5, 6, 7, and 8. The first is possession of cannabis within 1,000 feet of a house of worship, possession of cannabis over 20 grams, violation of probation are counts 7 and 8. You are being held no bond on counts 7 and 8. I do find probable cause to all of them. You're being held no bond on counts 7 and 8. Count 1, there's a $5,000 bond. Count 2, there is a $1,000 bond. Actually, it's counts 5 and 6. 5,000 and 1,000. Good luck to you, sir. Okay, let's recall Lori Andre.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How you doing? Again. All right. Miss Andre, you are charged with 16 counts. The first is a racketeering violation. Counts 2 through 6 are public servant falsifying an official document. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are modifying computer without authority, and 12 through 16 is a DMV employee unlawfully issuing a DL. I do find probable cause as to all 16 counts. There are people here on your behalf, including counsel. Counsel?
Yes. Your Honor, we have her sister, Anita Andre, her sister, Elvie Bernard. Her mother, Leonie Andre, lives in Delray. She wasn't able to be here. Her husband, Teshalet Lewis, he's on his way in. He parked the car. They knew they were late.
I know parking can be tough here, so.
She has 2 children. She has a 10-month-old infant, and she has a 6-year-old child. They're also live with her in Lantana, Florida. Her sisters live in Delray Beach. She's born here. She's a lifetime resident of South Florida. She has no priors.
State the ship priors?
No, Judge.
Okay. We handled a similar type case, looks like out of the same incident or investigation at the very least. Based, although the charges are serious, they're, you know, and they're public corruption things, the fact that I don't find that given her lack of prior history and the nature of these charges, that she is a threat and that she does have strong ties to the community, I will similarly set bond on count 1 at $5,000, and count 2 will be $1,000. The rest of the counts 3 through 16, I will ROR her on those counts. And I'm going to place her on pretrial, standard pretrial with that bond. Okay.
Thank you and good day.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Antonio Little?
He's approaching, Judge.
All right, Mr. Little, you are charged with, looks like 5 counts. The first is loitering or prowling. Second is a warrant on a misdemeanor. Counts 3, 4, and 5 are burglary, unoccupied conveyance. I do find probable
I
cause.
think we're just here on 3, 4, and 5. I think 1 and 2, were they handled yesterday or the day before?
I don't show that, but.
We're here for 3 through 5.
Okay, all right. So apparently counts 1 and 2 were handled yesterday, so I will leave those alone. I do find probable cause as to 3, 4, and 5.
If I may be heard, Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I believe one of these counts, possibly count 4, should be an attempt. As the affidavit indicates that Mr. Little walked over to enter a vehicle, however, it was locked. So it looks like there were 3 cars that he approached, and according to the allegation, he entered 2 of them, but did not enter the 3rd.
State.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right. Any recommendation, any priors?
Your Honor, his criminal history, battery 2013. I'm just checking one thing.
Judge, while the state is checking that, Mr. Little, I believe these are not in custody cases. He doesn't know when these alleged incidents took place. When's the alleged date of incident on 3, 4, and 5, Judge?
It looks like on the probable cause affidavit is reading June 12th, but
Yes, Your Honor, it would appear this happened yesterday. It appears that they initially arrested him for the loitering and prowling on count 1.
and these are ad charges.
And upon further investigation, they obtained additional evidence and charged him with these 3 counts.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, based on the allegations, I'm going to be requesting $2,500 bonds per count.
All right.
And I'm sorry, no return to the.
Prior history? 2013 battery?
Yes, that's all I have in front of me. And yeah, no return to this, I guess, dealership.
Vince?
Judge, right now, we're going to ask you to sign an order allowing him access to his phone. He doesn't know who he can possibly contact to help post his monetary bond. He doesn't believe anybody, really. He lives in Pompano Beach. He's been here his whole life. He's working. He's been working at a tire shop for about 3 months now, getting paid about $10 an hour. He also has, he's an expectant father. He has a child on his way. He doesn't think he can come up with anything. He's asking if you would consider releasing him on pretrial release on 3, 4, and 5, Judge.
Okay, yeah, I don't see a risk assessment. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000 on count 3. I'm going to ROR him on count 4, and I'll ROR him on count 5. So the total bond on this will be $1,000. At this point, I'm not inclined to put him on pretrial because I don't have a risk assessment,
Thank you, Judge.
so. Justin Rich?
Mr. Rich is here present. Come on up, sir.
Mr. Rich, you are charged with 4 counts: possession of cannabis under 20 grams, possession of oxycodone, possession of alprazolam, which is Xanax, and possession of amphetamine. I do find probable causes to all 4 of those.
Defendant is currently being supervised on pretrial service in case 17-9468 CF10A, possession of alprazolam.
Okay.
Based on this court's finding of probable cause, we're going to ask that his pretrial status be revoked at this time.
All right, the court is going to revoke your pretrial status on your previous case that you're out on pretrial release. As to this case, your count on, your bond on count 1 is $100. Counts 2, 3, 4 are $1,000 apiece, total of $3,100. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, I'd ask you at this time, I know he's out on a case, he picked up these new drug offenses. It seems to me that maybe Mr. Rich has a drug problem and probably needs help. Your Honor, I know you held him no bond on the case that he's out on. I'd ask you to consider something less, I guess, that's the most severe sanction the court can impose. I'd ask you potentially at this time to consider level 1, basically house arrest.
No.
On
With all due respect, he got a chance to be out and he violated with a new offense. There's really no point. So I wish him the best of luck, but no, thank you. Mark Holzer. Good morning, Mr. Holzer. You're charged with 6 counts. The first is a violation of probation on a felony count.
the service of public defender.
Okay, that's fine. You have 2 warrants for traffic offenses and then a pretrial misdemeanor warrant. I do find probable cause as to all of them. On count 1, you are being held no bond. Count 2 is a $50 bond. Count 3 is a $50 bond. Count 4 is a $500 bond. Counts 5 and 6 you'll be held no bond on. It looks like you do have a status conference on Monday at 8:30 a.m. in front of your division judge. Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah. Can I resolve the rest of my stuff?
No, sir. Good luck to you.
No?
Rayshawn Childs.
Mr. Child? He's approaching, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Childs. You're charged with 2 counts. The first is trespass, failing to leave a property upon order by owner, and the second is violation of community control on a felony charge. I do find probable causes to both counts. Count 1 will be a $25 bond. Count 2, you are being held no bond on that warrant. You do have a hearing set for Monday at 8:30 in front of your division judge. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, our only question is, this is a trespass from a specific location. Do you know what address it is?
Look it up.
Right. Yes, sir.
Can you read your report then?
It's 3050 Northwest 60th Avenue in Sunrise.
Yeah, it looks like the 3050 Northwest 60th Avenue.
3050 Northwest 60th Avenue?
Northwest 60th, Brotherhood Market Convenience Store.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thanks. Good luck, sir.
Cassandritz Blanc.
He's approaching, Judge. Mr. Blanc, come on up.
Mr. Blanc, you're charged with 2 counts. The first is murder in the first degree. The second is abuse to a dead human body. I do find probable cause as to both of those. You are being held no bond and will be held no bond on count 1. Count 2, the bond is $3,500. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, the state is going to be seeking a finding for first appearance purposes only a proof avenue or presumption grant on count 1 pursuant to the SAWS of the state, relying upon the probable cause affidavit, specifically but not limited to Mr. Blanc's alleged confession to the offense.
Yeah, having read the probable cause affidavit, sir, it was noted that you were wheeling a garbage can with a mutilated dead body in it, as well as once under arrest and post Miranda, there was a full confession, and based on those 2 facts, as well as everything else contained in the probable cause affidavit, I do find proof evident presumption great for the purposes of this hearing. So your bond will be no bond.
And that would be over our objection, Your Honor. We would object to the court making a finding of proof evident presumption great at this point in the proceedings. All that's been presented to the court at this point is a probable cause affidavit, which is designed to establish probable cause, which is a very low legal standard, not proof evident presumption great, which is the highest standard that we have in our criminal justice system. So I would ask the court to set bond for Mr. Blanc in this case.
I appreciate your argument. However, the probable cause affidavit can provide proof evident presumption great, and based on everything contained in the probable cause affidavit, as well as his post-Miranda confession statement, I do find proof evident presumption great, and he'll be held no bond.
At this time, Your Honor, we would be invoking Mr. Blanc's Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. We would ask that no members of any law enforcement agency, state attorney's office, or anyone else connected with law enforcement attempt to make contact with Mr. Blanc without first contacting his attorneys. Mr. Blanc, I'm advising you, sir, do not discuss your case with anyone except your attorneys.
You understand that, Mr. Blanc?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your Fifth Amendment rights have been invoked by the Office of the Public Defender, and those rights are so noted. Okay? All right. Good luck to you, sir. Henry Berghoff.
Mr. Berghoff, Henry? He's approaching, Judge.
Mr. Berghoff, you're charged with 2 counts. The first is petty theft in the second degree, third or subsequent offense. The second is a probation violation of community control, excuse me. I do find probable cause as to both of those counts. Count 1, your bond is $750. Count 2, your bond is no bond. And it looks like you have a hearing set for Monday at 8:30 in front of your divisional judge. Good luck to you, sir. David Eisen.
Judge David Eisen, there's a correction. His probation is out of Palm Beach County. And it's a 94806 arrest.
He's approaching, Judge. Mr. Eisen's here, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Eisen.
Go ahead.
You are charged with a probation violation based on the probable cause as well as the violation out of Palm Beach. I do find probable cause. You're currently being held no bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck.
Zeke Zakria.
North Broward, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. You were charged with 4 counts: possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 counts of violation of community control on 2 separate felony cases. I do find probable cause as to all 4 counts. Count 1 is $1,000 bond. Count 2 is $100 bond. Counts 3 and 4, you are being held no bond. It looks like you have a hearing for status set in front of your divisional judge on Friday at 8:30. Good luck to you, sir. Alexei Kinkov.
Your Honor, our Russian interpreter should be here around 10 o'clock.
Okay. It's almost 10 o'clock. All right. We'll put that on recall. Aner Benitez.
He's approaching, Judge. He declined service of public defender.
Okay. Good morning, sir. You're charged with 6 counts. The first count is possession of THC. The second count is possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. Third count is possession or intent to sell or deliver cocaine. Third is possession with intent to deliver oxycodone. Fifth is possession with intent to deliver cannabis. And the sixth is an out-of-county hold on a misdemeanor. I do find probable cause as to all 6 counts. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Count 2, $100. Count 3 is $2,500. Count 4 is $2,500. Count 5 is $1,000. And count 6, you're being held no bond pending that out-of-county hold being resolved. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, sir. There you go, time to reduce the ball.
Noe Auguste. Good morning, sir. You're charged with 2 counts. The first is possession with intent to deliver cannabis. The second is possession of cannabis over 20 grams. I do find probable causes to both of those counts. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Count 2 will be $1,000 for a total of $2,000. Good luck to you, sir.
I'll call your brother right after court. Yes, sir. Good luck.
Daniel Medeiros.
Mr. Medeiros?
Mr.
Good morning,
Medeiros,
Your Honor.
good morning. How you doing? You were charged with 3 counts: illegal use of a credit card, in count 1, grand theft or grand larceny, $300 or more, and fraudulent use of an ID of another. I do find probable cause as to all 3 of those counts. Your bond in count 1 is $1,000. Count 2 is $1,000. Count 3 is $1,000. Total of $3,000. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, if I could be heard, and speaking of Mr. Medeiros, I believe the alleged victim on this is his mother. I don't think it happened just yesterday. I believe it happened a little bit ago. And Judge, having said that, he's 36 years old. He's been here his whole life. Mr. Medeiros right now is living at Pompano Beginners. That's where he was, I believe, picked up at. He went ahead and basically sought help, and he's getting help for his addiction problem. Having said that, Judge, my understanding is that he's still welcome there. That's where he's going to be residing. At this time, Judge, we're going to be asking you, because he doesn't think nobody can afford to post his bond, is to consider releasing him on pretrial release, and he intends on residing at Pompano Beginners. I believe he has had contact with the criminal justice system in the past. However, I do not believe he's a convicted felon. So having said this, these are nonviolent offenses. I'd ask you to consider pretrial release.
State.
Your Honor, I would just note, this is, according to the report, this has been going on from January through June, so it isn't that long ago since it stopped. Additionally, he's allegedly taken over $5,000 from the cards. He does have, I'm showing he's been arrested 3 times previously for failing to appear in court. His criminal history, trespass, 2016. He went through drug court in 2009 for possession of oxycodone, DUI 03.
All right. Well, I'll, this is what I'll do. Pending pretrial, any comments on this? All right. Given the fact that there's no crimes of violence and there's no significant, I wouldn't consider it a significant history, and the fact that he is currently in rehab, I will, pending pretrial, I will ROR him to pretrial.
Pending verification, correct?
Yes, correct. He has to reside at Pompano Beginners. If he's not going to reside at Pompano Beginners, it will be the standard $3,000 bond.
Yes, Judge.
Pending verification. Okay.
And Your Honor, and I apologize if the court already ordered it, but I'd be requesting no victim contact.
Yeah, there'll be no victim contact.
Thank you, Judge.
Hector, do you have
Hector, does he have any contact information for Pompano Beginners?
Oh, sir, do you have the contact information for Pompano Beginners?
It was in my wallet, and they took my wallet, and they brought all my stuff over to my mom, so they didn't want to leave it there.
So it's in his property, Judge. He doesn't have it physically.
Not in my property. It's actually at my mother's.
Oh, it's at your mom's.
Yes, but it's Pompano Beginners. Is the name of the recovery center, and it's Charles Fields is the director and owner. It's really easy to write online to find the phone number for him.
All right, so pretrial's going to go ahead and verify it, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Jared Gibson.
Mr. Gibson, come on up, please.
Good morning, Mr. Gibson. You're charged with 4 counts: possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, warrant on a misdemeanor, and violation of a municipal ordinance. I do find probable cause as to all of them. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Count 2 is $0. Count 3 is $500 on that warrant, and count 4 is a $0. The total bond you have right now is $1,500.
If I may, Judge,
Yes, sir.
count 1, the possession of cocaine, this is a residue case. Most likely, it will be filed as a drug paraphernalia charge, so I would ask the court to take that into consideration when setting bond for Mr. Gibson.
And Judge, Mr. Gibson, as you can see from count 4, he's basically sleeping in an open public area. He is homeless, so there's no one that's going to be able to post his monetary bond. His parents are deceased. He's 33 years old, so I'd ask you to take into account that it's most likely going to be filed as a drug paraphernalia. Consider an ROR on count 1, Judge.
I would, but he's got a capias already.
Well, and I also don't know that it's residue. It says that it was found in a white plastic tube. I don't know that that was residue.
No. Here's the situation. I don't know what ultimately they're going to do with that case, but I'm not inclined to ROR him. In the overall scheme of things, he's already got a capias on a misdemeanor, so he didn't return to court on that one. I'm certainly not going to ROR him, and I'm just going to leave the bond in place at $1,000 for count 1. So it's a $1,500 total bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Robert Kellerman.
He's here present, Judge. Come on, Mr. Kellerman.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kellerman, you are charged with 1 count of fleeing or eluding law enforcement. I do find probable cause. The bond that was previously set on that case is $1,000 by Judge Fine.
Nothing to add, Judge. He has a DOC hold.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Moses Lewis.
Mr. Lewis is here present, Judge at Maine. Come on up, Mr. Lewis. He's declined the service as a public defender.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, you are charged with 1 count of aggravated battery causing serious bodily harm. I do find probable cause as to that charge state.
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $25,000 bond, pretrial release of the GPS monitor, no victim contact. His history: 2014 resisting without violence, 2006 aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, 2001 aggravated battery, great bodily harm, 96 resisting without violence, 95 delivery of cannabis. And obviously, I have concerns about the level of violence alleged in this case.
Yeah, defense, anything?
He declined.
He declined the public defender.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, sir. I'm setting your bond in the amount of $25,000. If you do bond out on that, you will be on a GPS monitor. There'll be no contact with the victim, direct or indirect.
Can I say something to him?
You can. I don't recommend it. I really don't. I would wait till you have counsel, because you're being recorded. Anything you say is going to be used against you. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Kirk Cade.
Mr. Cade is here present, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, on her case, count number 3,
Yes, ma'am.
the case number,
Yes.
they put, I don't know, they could have corrected it already, but count 3, the case number should be 17013212 CF10A.
All right, so it's a separate case then, okay. All right, sir, you are charged with 3 counts. First is retail theft. The second 2 are violations of probation or community control on felonies. I do find probable causes to all 3 of them. On count 1, your bond is $1,000. Counts 2 and 3, you are being held no bond. Good luck to you, sir. You do have a status conference set on Tuesday, the 19th at 8:30 a.m. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Good luck,
Good luck, sir.
Marlon Gabarette.
North Broward.
Yes,
Your Honor, I'm going to be asking that this matter be reset for 1 p.m. Detective Lynch from the Hallandale Beach Police Department is going to be coming in to provide additional information.
Okay. All right, I am going to reset this to 1 o'clock p.m. All right, Mr. Gabarette, I'll see you at 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Mike Bastien. Is Michael Bastien?
He's here present, Judge Amin.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bastien, you are charged with 1 count of grand theft. I do find probable cause. You are being held on a $1,000 bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, Mr. Bastien advised me that he has no prior record. If that's correct, considering this is a nonviolent offense, we'd be asking you to consider an ROR.
State?
Yeah, I just see traffic matters, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Looking at the risk assessment, it appears that he is of low risk. I will ROR him to pretrial.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Can you give him a map to pretrial? You have to report there. You'll be released today if you're released when it's. So I have to be there before 12 noon tomorrow, okay? Good luck. That's the instruction. Try to get there.
Okay. Daniel Dunkelberger.
Mr. Dunkelberger, come on up, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Doing well. Looks cold in there. Good morning, sir. You are charged with 3 counts. The first is petty theft. The second are violations of pretrial on felonies. Looks like 1 felony case. I do find probable cause as to all 3 counts. On count 1, it's a $25 bond. On count 2, it's a no bond hold. It looks like count 3 was an ROR. I don't know. Okay, so it's $25 on 1, no bond on count 2, and ROR on count 3. Good luck to you, sir.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Joseph Ugliarolo.
Mr. Ugliarolo, he's approaching, Judge. He declined the service of public defense.
All right, sir, you're charged with aggravated battery on a person 65 years or older. I do find probable cause as to this charge. State priors?
He has very dated priors out of New Jersey.
Okay.
Nothing very...
Recommendation?
Anything very significant.
Recommendation?
Your Honor, in light of the allegations...
This looks like a neighbor dispute.
Yes. I'm going to be requesting a $2,500 bond and no victim contact.
All right, well...
And just no direct physical contact, Your Honor. I'm not asking for 500 feet since...
I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $5,000 on this. There'll be no victim contact, no victim contact. I understand that it's a neighbor, so you must stay away from your neighbor. Obviously, you can be in your house, but no coming within 500 feet of your neighbor.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
is it possible to lower that bail? I mean, I'm not going no place.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm setting it at $5,000, and if your division judge wants to do something with that, they're welcome to do so. Good luck to you, sir. Kirby Phileas.
He's approaching. He declined the service of public defense.
Good morning, sir. You are charged with 4 counts. First is possession of MDMA or ecstasy. Second is operating without a valid driver's license. Third is an infraction, which is failure to wear a safety belt. Fourth is a violation of community control. I do find probable cause as to all 4 of those. On count 1, your bond is $1,000. Count 2 is $25. Count 3 is an infraction, so it's a 0 bond. And count 4, you're being held no bond. And you do have a status conference set on Friday at 8:45 in front of your division judge. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, our Russian interpreter is here.
Okay, great.
Also on Hung Tran.
Yes.
I was told the interpreter wouldn't be here till 1. I know he's I can see him still in the back of the jail there, so I don't know if you could reset him for the PM.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Thank you. Since you're going to be
Judge,
here anyway.
You said the Russian interpreter is here?
Yes. Hold on for 1 second. Let's take care of that. Alexei Kinnikov.
Alexei
Alexei Knikov.
Okay.
What page is he on, Mr. Reedy? Do you know?
22.
Thank you, Mr. Reedy.
All right, Madam Interpreter, could you raise your right? Do you swear or affirm that you will accurately translate from Russian to English and English to Russian?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Helen Lourier, and I'm a certified court interpreter.
Okay, ma'am. All right, Mr. Kinnikov, you are charged with 5 counts.
Мистер Кников, вас обвиняют по 5 пунктам обвинения.
Judge, can you have me speak closer to the microphone so we can
Yeah,
hear better?
you can move the microphone closer to you to make it a little more
Мистер
comfortable.
Кников, вас обвиняют по 5 пунктам обвинения.
По каким? Я могу
Which
уточнить.
ones? Which 5 counts?
Yes. Grand theft,
Кража в особо крупных размерах,
illegal use of a credit card,
неправомерное использование кредитных карточек,
fraudulent attempt to use the ID of another person,
мошенническая попытка использования документов другого человека.
and this last 2 counts are possession of similitude of a driver's license, a fraudulent driver's license.
И 2 последних, это что у вас в вашем владении было водительские права, которые похожи были на водительские права.
I do find probable cause as to all 5 counts.
Я нахожу, что, возможно, вы это все совершили.
And your bond on each count is $1,000
И залог на каждый пункт обвинения $1000.
for a total of $5,000 bond.
Значит, общая сумма $5000 залог.
Good luck to you, sir.
Удачи вам.
Judge, if I may ask Mr. Kinnikov questions through the interpreter?
Sure.
Я хочу задать вопрос мистеру Кникову через переводчика. Да.
Mr. Kinnikov, you currently have a bond of $5,000.
Мистер Кников, у вас есть сейчас залог в размере $5000. Вам дали такой залог.
Is there anyone I can contact for you to help post that monetary bond?
С кем-то я могу связаться от вашего лица, чтобы они за вас дали этот залог?
Да, конечно.
Yes, of course.
Все контакты в моем телефоне, но у меня нет его.
Yes, I have all my contacts in my phone, but I'm not in possession of this phone.
Where is the phone?
Где находится телефон?
Его забрали.
It was taken away.
Is it here in property here at the jail?
Он здесь находится телефон в тюрьме?
Да.
Yes.
That I
Judge,
understood.
in that case, would you sign a phone order so we can have access to his phone contact?
Yes.
Да, значит, адвокат просит судью, чтобы он распорядился, чтобы телефон выдали, чтобы мы могли связаться с людьми. Он говорит да.
So are you pretty certain if you are able to contact friends and family, they'll be able to go ahead and post your bond?
Сэр, значит, вы точно уверены, что когда вы свяжетесь с вашими родственниками или знакомыми, они за вас смогут дать этот залог?
А что если я не согласен с пунктами обвинения и меня обманули?
What if I don't agree to the counts that I was charged with? I was defrauded myself.
Well, don't talk about the facts. Today is not your trial date. You'll have an opportunity in the future to contest these allegations.
Сэр, не говорите по фактам вашего дела. У вас в будущем будет возможность на судебном процессе все это рассказать и объяснить.
Today, all we're here for is for bond purposes. So therefore, if we're going to get you a phone order, you think you can contact someone to post that bond.
Сейчас мы находимся по поводу слушания, по поводу вашего залога. Поэтому вопрос к вам такой. Кто-то есть у вас, кто может за вас дать эту сумму?
Да.
Yes.
Okay.
No further questions.
All right, great. Good luck to you, sir.
Удачи вам, сэр.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good luck.
All right, Hung Tran. We're going to reset this to the afternoon. I understand that the interpreter will be here at that time.
Thank you, Judge. The Vietnamese gentleman who requires an interpreter is going to be reset for this afternoon.
Okay.
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock back.
Hashan Sanafort.
He's here approaching, Judge.
Good morning, sir. You're charged with 8 counts: possession of a firearm on school property, carrying concealed firearm, possession of cannabis over 20 grams, resisting an officer without violence, trespass to school property with a weapon or firearm, and then looks like 3 juvenile pickup orders. State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting following bonds and release conditions: $75,000 bond on count 1, $10,000 bond on count 2, 1,000 on 3, 100 on 4, 10,000 on 5. Your Honor, also pretrial release with a GPS monitor level 1. Obviously, no return to the incident location or any school campus in Broward County. That he not be in possession of any firearms or weapons. Your Honor, my concern is not only based on these allegations, which are very troubling, that Mr. Sanford, while fleeing from law enforcement who were trying to arrest him on the pending warrants before the court, brought a loaded firearm onto the school campus of the Imagine Charter School, where I believe a code red alert had to be issued. This was while the school was in the process of dismissing over 200 children enrolled in the summer camp program. What makes it even more concerning, Your Honor, is that Mr. St. Ford is out on bond in 2 separate felony cases, one of which involves a carrying concealed firearm, possession of a firearm by a minor, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of cannabis 20 grams or less. His other felony case is for burglary of a conveyance.
Okay. Defense?
Judge, I understand the serious nature of the allegations. I do understand counts 6 through 9. He does have no bond holds. No matter what we do today, he's not getting out until those no bond holds are addressed. The only thing I'd ask you to consider is, Judge, I know the state's request is somewhere along the lines of $95,000. He's 18 years old. He is working. He works at the Dollar Tree. He makes about $200 a week. I just ask you to take also into account his financial resources in determining reasonable release conditions, Judge.
Fair enough. I mean, I have to take into consideration that, but I also have to take into consideration the protection of the community and the fact that he's carrying a firearm. He's charged previously with possession of a firearm, and while I know it wasn't his primary intent to go on that school campus, he ended up on a school campus with a loaded firearm, putting that school campus in a code red lockdown. If something would have happened and one of those people at the school had been hurt, which could have very easily happened when you're dealing with loaded firearms, it is of the highest level of community protection that needs to be considered here, and subsequently, I am going to follow the state's recommendation. I'm going to set bond in count 1 at $75,000. Count 2 will be $10,000. Count 3, I'm going to ROR him on. Count 4 will be $100. Count 5 will be $10,000. And then counts 6, 7, and 8 will be held no bond, which is where it is. I'm sorry, hold on one second. And count 9 is also a no bond hold. So he's being held no bond on those. If those are resolved, then he has a total of $95,100 bond to make. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor?
Yes.
As far as the other release conditions, I just didn't know if the court was setting those or not setting those as far as the GPS.
I'm not at this point.
Okay, and is the court taking any actions to respond to his 2 pending felonies?
I thought that he...
No, those the cases before you, those are juvenile holds.
Oh, okay. Then, yes, based on my finding of probable cause in this matter and the fact that he was out on he violated the pretrial conditions of his other 2 felonies, I'm going to hold him no bond and revoke his bond on those 2 other cases.
And would the court at least consider ordering that should he be released at some point, that he not be in possession of any firearms, weapons, or ammunition?
That goes without saying. That is going to be a condition, no possession of firearms or other weapons.
And, Your Honor, just for the record, the case numbers on the 2 felony cases are 17-10226 CF10A and 17-14300 CF10A.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Jacob Rivera.
You have family here, Your Honor.
He's here, President Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Rivera. You were charged with 5 counts, failure to remain in an accident involving non-serious injury, operating without a valid DL, leaving the scene of an accident involving damage to property, and failure to provide proof of liability insurance, and failure right away when entering a highway. I do find probable cause as to all 5 of those counts. Ma'am, you're here?
Good morning, Your Honor. I just would like to ask for your leniency and your judgment today. He did come to the station on his own accord. He, I believe, had a very large lapse in judgment, but I think he's in the understanding of what he did. He does live with his older sister. His mother is here with me. She does live a block away from him. We will ensure that he makes all of his court dates and that he's held accountable for his actions if found guilty.
Okay, state. The way the probable cause affidavit was written, it was as if it yeah, I mean, it didn't indicate that he had surrendered. Maybe I missed
No,
it.
he went straight to the police station because he knew they would be looking for him because he was very scared when he left. So then he came home and we took him to the police
Oh,
station
okay.
to ensure that he resolved the issue immediately. He does work daily. He has a consistent job.
Where does he work?
He works construction. I don't know the name.
Romax Construction.
Okay. State priors?
I don't see any history, Your Honor. Really, I mean, the only thing that concerns me is the fact that he had the wherewithal to, once he got to the convenience store, to ask to have them call a taxi to pick him up, but never mentioned could someone maybe call 911 to check on the other person involved in the crash.
Well, all right. Noting the lack of prior record and the fact that it appears that he basically traveled to the police department on his own accord, I'm going to ROR him to pretrial release, standard pretrial.
Thank you kindly, Judge. We really appreciate
That's also
that.
based on a risk assessment that shows that he's a low risk to not appear.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Thank you, sir.
He doesn't have a license.
He doesn't have a license.
Yeah. Is he driving? What? Yeah, it's a driving offense. No,
I mean,
I can't wait.
Todd Gradwell?
Judge Todd Gradwell bonded, I've been informed.
Okay, I do find probable cause, but I understand that he's bonded. George Bragg?
Medical loan, Judge?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Your Honor, I don't know if the court, or if the defense has any objection to finding a probable cause. It's a violation of parole. I mean, really, at this point, the only thing, it's not even about bringing him to court, it's just the parole board
Right,
coming down to meet with him.
right. Based. Mr. Eady? Okay, and looking at the violation, it is a violation of parole. I do find probable cause. We'll have to deal with the parole board.
Yeah,
Zachary Jewell?
He's here, Judge. Come on up, Mr. Jewell.
Morning, Mr. Jewell.
Good morning.
You were
How you
charged.
doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing well. You were charged with 2 counts. First is grand theft, $300 to $5,000, and then the second is uttering a false instrument. I do find probable cause as to both of these. State priors?
Looks like he has a couple cases pending before Judge Porth in mental health court. One for possession of cocaine, the other for possession of PVP. Battery 2012, theft, just battery 2012, violation of domestic violence injunction 2010, resisting without violence 2010.
All right. Bond is in the amount of $1,000 on count one, 1,000 on count two, and was he out on a pretrial, with pretrial conditions on bond?
Trying to see what he's, just trying to determine if he's out on bond or ROR. He was ROR'd on the cocaine before Judge Porth, and he bonded out on the possession of PVP before Judge Porth.
All right, on the possession of PVP charge, I'm gonna revoke his bond, and hold him no bond, sua
It's
sponte.
case number 15-121-55 CF10A.
Good luck to you, sir. Roberto Martinez. Good morning. Roberto Martinez. Hector, is he there?
I think he's sitting right there.
Martinez is approaching. Come on up. And Judge, he declined to serve as a public defender.
Okay. Mr. Martinez, you are charged with 2 counts. The first is driving while license suspended or revoked as a habitual offender. And the second is running a red light. I do find probable causes to both. You have some people here for you?
Yes, sir.
Hold on one second. You got to speak up a little bit.
I'm his fiance and this is his brother.
Okay.
Yes. I would just like to say, I know that I was in the wrong for asking him to drive last night. We were actually moving. We were moving, so I asked him to drive because I didn't have a car. So his dad let us borrow his truck because we were moving. So I asked him to drive.
Okay. All right. Well, right now, he's got a bond of $750. Okay. So if you pay the $750, he'll deal with the charges at a later date, okay? All right. All right, sir, you have a $750 bond. Apparently, that bond is going to be posted on your behalf, and you'll deal with the charges as they come, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
No problem. No problem. Orlando Rivera?
That was Ms. Alcade's case.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
So this is just being handled over in division, I believe, Judge
Okay.
Howard, for Judge Howard.
Okay, so Mr. Rivera's case is he's going to get magistrated in front of Judge Howery.
I don't know. If you want to just put it on reset for tomorrow, I'll check in with Ms. Alcade to find out what happened.
Okay. All right. Philip O'Brien.
North Broward.
I'm sorry, where? North Broward. Okay, thanks. Mr. O'Brien, you're charged with 2 counts. The first is possession of cocaine. The second is resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable causes to both of those. State.
Your Honor, his history includes 2015 burglary of a dwelling and grand theft from a dwelling, 30-month state prison as a habitual offender. 2014 burglary of a dwelling and grand theft, he received the same prison sentence concurrently. Tampering of evidence, 2012, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or distribute, 04, a little over 20 and a half months.
All right, sir, your bond is $1,000 total. It's $1,000 on count 1. It's zero bond on count 2. So got a total of $1,000. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
I'll call your mother for you, Philip.
Okay, thank you.
Leroy Brown.
Mr. Brown, come on up.
Yeah.
He's approaching, Judge.
These cases before the court on change of charge. As you can see, it's change of charge from failure to comply with failure to report. It's essentially a technical change of charge. It is the same, for all intent purposes, the same offense. As you can see, I provided the court with the original findings, and Judge Malika set bonds at $1,500 per count with pretrial GPS monitor level 2. I'm requesting that the same conditions be placed on Mr. Brown and bond, and additionally, Your Honor, and he is scheduled for arraignment next Monday at 8:30 a.m. before Judge McCarthy.
All right, Mr. Brown, you are charged, it looks like a change of charge on counts 1, 2, and 3, and that's failure to report or change of residence for a sex offender. It looks like, according to the state, and it appears to be correct, that it is a technical change of charge, and you were previously given a $1,500 bond on each one of those counts with a level 2 GPS monitor. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to leave it where it is. So counts 1, 2, and 3, $1,500 apiece with a GPS level 2 monitor. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, the only thing I'm going to be asking for, and I don't know if I have this right, Mr. Brown may have potentially already posted his bond.
Okay.
And I believe the reason why he's in here is the second condition of his release was pretrial level 2. I just wanted to make sure if that was correct. If that was correct, he already posted his bond. I'd ask you, since now there's a change of charge, to consider an ROR on counts 1, 2, and 3.
No, he can do an affidavit to remain on bond with his bondsman. They generally are willing to do that if it's not like changing levels, but I'm not going to ROR him. So good luck to you, sir. Michael Knight.
I think that might be.
Mr. McKnight is here present, Judge.
And,
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, this is another change of charge. It was actually upfiled from grand theft of a firearm to possession of weapon and ammunition by a convicted felon.
Okay.
That being said, bond was originally set at $1,000. I'm requesting that the bond be kept at $1,000. There was a condition of no victim contact as well.
Okay, Mr. Knight, you're charged with possession of a weapon or ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause based on the warrant, and the state is recommending to me that even though it's an up file, that I keep the bond where it was originally placed at $1,000, and I'm assuming the state has access to much more information than I do, and I will agree to that condition based on the state's recommendation. So bond will be $1,000.
Now, Judge, the only thing we're going to be asking for is a phone order.
Granted.
Thank you, Judge.
Kenyatta Royal.
Conti. Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Sir, you're charged with one count of burglary of an unoccupied structure. I do find probable cause based on the warrant. State?
Yes, Your Honor, this was originally a burglary of an occupied structure. It was filed as a burglary unoccupied structure. One moment, Your Honor. Bond was originally set at $2,500 on the burglary with plus standard pretrial, no return to Forest Lawns Memorial Gardens Central. Wait, one moment, that doesn't sound right. Yes, Florida Forest Lawn Memorial Garden Central. So I'm requesting, in this matter, Your Honor, I believe he already was arraigned. Yes, he was arraigned yesterday by Judge Howery. And he has a status hearing for competency set on the 21st. I'm requesting that the $2,500 bond and pretrial be placed back on him.
Okay, I'm going to leave that on there. I'm going to set his bond at $2,500. This is actually a down file, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, technically, it's a down file. Yes. So I'm going to leave his bond at $2,500 with the conditions of, he had pretrial conditions as well?
A bond plus pretrial.
Okay.
Hey, Your Honor.
Standard pretrial. Yes, sir.
I have no money. I've been in custody 42 days, and I have pretrial. I have an address. Is it possible I can get RR, sir? I'm not a threat to society. I need RR. I don't have no money.
Not at this time. It looks like there's a, Mr. Linder, you said there was a hearing set Okay, there's a hearing set relatively quickly. When is that?
The 21st.
Okay, there's a hearing set on the 21st. After that hearing, your division judge may lower your bond, may give you pretrial, may do a lot of things, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to leave the bond at $2,500. Good luck to you, sir. All right, that's all I have for right now. Anybody else?
Judge, what time are start this afternoon?
I understand that the docket generally generally starts at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
Is that
Your Honor,
correct?
did we ever get an update on, I know there was one domestic case that we put on recall?
That domestic, is that?
Oh,
person-
Christian Hall. I'm sorry. Is Christian Hall there?
He's not here yet? He's not here.
You want me to put him on?
Judge, I believe he's still en route. I guess to have him reset for this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll set him for, because that was the brother to the other gentleman that I think I borrowed. For Christian Hall is reset for this afternoon. All right. Anybody have it? Oh.
Want me to bring, are you gonna come back down then? Why don't you leave the PC here?
Anything else? Okay, no. Anybody else that needs to be magistrated right now?
If she can scan, have her scan it.
All right, hearing nothing, I will shut